Welcome back to the Netherkast, episode 35. I'm Black Cyborg, joined as always by temporary username Razor's Edge and Shadaloo. Today actually marks, I should say today as in when we're recording this, not may necessarily be when you're listening to it.
We're recording on Tuesday, April 18th.
Yes.
April the 18th is a very... April, wait a minute. It's not April.
April.
Did I say April?
You said
Yes,
April.
you did.
Oh
It's
my.
Start with an A. That's...
How
Oh
does time
jeez.
work for you wacky Americans?
I'm not gonna
It's freaking
fix
August.
it in post. I'm not.
It is August 18th. We did not go back in time to before MKX came out.
Yes. All right. Well, anyways, it's August 18th, and it marks the 20th anniversary of since the movie was released, the first MK movie. So we thought, hey, why don't we do kind of a commentary on it? Because that's been something people have wanted us to do, and that's something we've been wanting to do. It's not Annihilation, which will be a lot funnier, of course.
Yeah,
but,
Annihilation will be more of a riff tracks. This one, not so much, because we actually like this movie.
This is going to be sincere.
Right.
This is
Annihilation
gonna be
actually
enjoyable.
requires a bit of forethought, foresight, planning, and copious amounts of booze.
So we're going to be watching this on Netflix. So if you want to kind of follow along with us, we'll count it down when we're ready to start. And yeah, so that way everyone can watch it, because we're not going to put it up on YouTube because we don't want to get copyright flagged or anything like that. So
Yeah, you won't actually hear the movie audio.
right. And
Sure.
I could have it playing really low, but that might also make it harder for you to sync up. So I don't want any confusion amongst people. So that way, if it's off, it's off. It'll be off by just a little bit, but either way, it should be good. And yeah, we'll kind of jump right into it. Anybody else have anything to say?
Well, before we start, I want to read the blurb it says on the page in Netflix, because I think it's important for a point I'm about to make. It says, to save the planet, a team of hand-picked noble fighters faces down the minions of an evil emperor in a deadly, fantastical combat tournament. That's Mortal Kombat. Notice how it doesn't say anything about, like, an ordinary guy, or, you know, it uses...
Or a grocery store.
Yeah, like, there's nothing about, like, Liu Kang is not, like, a grocery store clerk or any bullshit like that. Somebody make sure that Oren Uziel, or however you pronounce his name, the guy who's supposedly writing the next movie, hears this. Because it's important. Liu Kang is not an ordinary guy. He's not on the fucking hero's journey. He's a Shaolin monk. That's important to who he is.
A hot.
Shaolin monk with a hot mullet, a headband, and a rage for ending Shao Kahn's conquest.
An amazing pecs. God damn it.
So
Pecs.
they are great pecs. Robin Shu.
Oh god.
Shampoos and conditions.
All right,
We
so
can start now.
all right,
Princess
so
Sterling with Wata.
we will count. We'll count this down for everyone. Okay, here. Let me get it ready to go, and so that way everyone just pull up Netflix or your DVD or whatever. I think they start at the same place. It's going to be right where it yells Mortal Kombat on the New Line logo, and we'll go from there.
Can't miss it.
If you're on Netflix, just load up the movie and then drag the bar all the way to the left. And when we say press play, then you should be lined up. Anyways,
Unless you're in Canada, in which case, get your DVDs or Blu-rays ready, because fuck Canadian Netflix. Oh, that's all I'm saying. It's a struggle.
there goes our Canadian Netflix sponsor. All
They
right.
don't deserve us, okay? They don't deserve us, and we don't deserve them. We get a tenth of the shit that you guys get down there. I
Oh,
swear to
geez.
God. Everyone I know just fucking pirates the American Netflix. There's no reason not to.
On the other hand, if Tim Hortons is looking for something to sponsor, totally down.
Oh, yeah. I'll take my weekly supply.
We got your backs, buddy guy. Guy, buddy, friend.
All right. On that note, 3, 2, 1, play. Let me get my subtitles ready here. Come on, here we go. Subtitles. Yeah. I've never watched this movie silently, so this will be fun.
Yeah, it'll be a little weird.
We could do riffing this way, though, because then we just talk over them.
Do they do intros like this anymore? Like, is the movie intro a thing these days?
I don't know.
It still
This is
happens.
badass.
The
It's not like-
Marvel studio logo kind of does this.
Yeah, pretty well. It's
But is the
become more
Marvel-
and more of a thing to just have like
Like how he yells
the
Mortal Kombat.
credits showing as the movie is actually starting and things are taking place, but no. Not this way.
This is hype, though.
I remember feeling the blood pumping when I saw that logo.
Gosh, those eyebrows, man, they still will get me. Like, they're so mean looking.
They're majestic.
Do you see that? It
A
looks like
fear
you
in
ate
his
like
eyes.
14 lemons.
Yeah,
He's
like
afraid of those
if you
eyebrows.
look at Kerry Tagawa, just like in a regular photograph of the actor, like smiling and being a nice guy, he still somehow looks angry.
It's very Bond villainish, you know? And people will say, like, the acting's not good in this movie, but I say it is because it's so emotive. Everyone is so ridiculously emotive in this movie. There's no dialogue going on right now, but there's so much in that face. There's a story in that face.
There's a difference between bad acting and cheesy acting that is enjoyable. I think there's room
And-
for good cheese. Like
Punch
that.
goes the back.
I consider this a good film.
As do I. I mean, I have some reservations, but you're right, though. And it's cheesy, but it's also sincere. There's something very sincere about the performances in this movie. It never feels self-aware, and that's...
Oh, it's
I
so
forgot about
creepy.
that.
That's so fucking creepy.
Yeah, that part where Shang's face turns into like the
That scared the living
Scary
shit
skull,
out of
that-
me.
that's messed
It
up when
really
you're like
did.
12 years old.
Yeah, no, it's...
It's one of those scenes. It's like the librarian at the beginning of Ghostbusters. I also
Exactly.
like as a little kid.
still
I used to
fucks
hide
me up.
behind the couch when that scene was playing.
Okay, and here's
So I
a
didn't
little
have-
tip
yeah.
for you. This part I've always loved. Because even at this point, 1995 was saying this, who the fuck gets telegrams anymore? Honest to God, this always bothered me.
Who buys
Well,
green light
how
bulbs?
does a monk send a message to America? Like they don't have telephones at the temple.
See, I love how this movie starts out though, introducing each fighter. It's very like thematic, and it
Yeah,
really explains who each person is right off the bat, which is
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
Look how
One after the
quickly
next.
we get Sonya's character. Like 2 lines of dialogue, you understand exactly who this person is, and it's not like generic. That's a fully fleshed out person.
I take no shit, get out of my way, your hair sucks, fuck off, you didn't pay the toll.
The whole scene is very, like, late 90s, early 2000s. Like, you saw a lot of scenes like this in, like Blade, or
Oh
you
yeah,
saw it in
opening in a
a...
nightclub
Definitely.
is a very 90s thing to do.
Yeah.
Half the movies out there in 95, count them, The Crow, Trevor Goddard. Bless you, you dearly
Looking
departed.
good. That mask still looks good to me.
Yeah.
The eyeball always seemed kind of funny, but the metal plate looks legit.
I think in 1080 it doesn't quite work as well, but yeah, you're right. It's still very...
They probably could have built a more Terminator-looking and less just like glass with a light behind it.
It's faithful to the game. I don't think you should take that for granted these days. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly the most advanced-looking thing in MK1 and 3.
Feels so Matrixy with the rising green bubbles and Asian man talking in a chair.
I love how he twitches the good eye. Like, nope, don't want to lose another one. How big is this fucking dance floor?
Everyone's still dancing. They don't even give a fuck.
Yeah, right. Giant shotgun.
Although
Still dancing. Still dancing.
this is the Sonya we have now. This is the MK9, MKX Sonya to the nth degree, which I guess that's one of the things about this. Oh, I love this scene too much
Yeah.
to talk over.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh. I mean, honestly, I can't complain about Sonya too much. I don't think she had much of a personality, personally speaking, before this film came along.
I
Well,
agree.
It did play a
characters
big
got their
part.
personalities from this movie. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But so speaking of this scene, I just read an article earlier today where they interviewed a bunch of people like about their experiences making the movie. You know, the producer Casanov, the director Paul Anderson, most of the actors. And according to Ashby and Lambert, they ad-libbed most of their catchphrasey lines.
Huh.
So, like, when Johnny says "let's dance" at the beginning of this, they came up with that on the day.
Nice.
And it feels organic.
Yeah.
I think the Johnny Cage character just feels kind of very organic overall. I mean, I feel like he's a big contrast from the game, which is very over the top. There actually is kind of a subtlety to this rendition of Cage.
It always
I do
bothered me that
sometimes,
Lyndon
yeah.
Ashby didn't become, like, a bigger star after this movie.
Well, I think he went back to soaps after this. I can't be 100%, but
Yeah,
he was
done,
up
like,
for a
Melrose
sequel. He
Place
wanted
or
to do it.
something like that.
I knew something was wrong in Annihilation the moment he didn't show back up. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah,
this.
the movie sucks too bad for
Steven
Ashby.
Spielberg.
I was
look
about
like.
to say,
Spielberg.
Senor Spielbergo here. Wiggly
Just skinnier Del Toro. You're laughing because you see it. And even this guy coming up has like almost like a Kubrick vibe to him.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a scene later in the movie where that matte painting sunset is an actual sunset.
There is.
Like maybe the one where Liu Kang is meditating on the beach. I can't be sure.
It's pretty much, it's either that one or the one where Johnny and Sony are talking. Same evening in any case.
I would have liked to have seen the audition for this actor right here. I don't know why. So what do I do? Is like, oh, you talk some guy into taking a tournament on, and then you turn into an Asian man. Okay, cool. I can do that.
Yeah, this Master Boyd guy, he's on screen for like 3 minutes, but I don't know. He
leaves an impression.
Yeah, there's something compelling about him, and I don't know how to describe it.
I would
hang
take
out with this
Master
guy.
Boyd as DLC over Art Lee.
I don't know, man. I really like Art Lean.
Everyone likes Art Lee. No one knows why, but we all do.
See, I can barely hear this guy, but like I'm paying attention. Like I'm taking it all in.
Yeah, like,
He could have worked on this a little bit. This
charismatic
was
voice
bad.
or something.
Very stiff walk as he turns into Shang.
Yeah.
Very
Extremely
stiff.
constipated facial expression,
These
but
are good special effects for 95, though. That more.
oh yeah.
The Temple of Light, China.
I like how his
Somewhere.
morph effect looks different every time he does it. Like, there it was dust peeling off of him, and later it's an actual, like...
Fun fact about this little scene right here. The music that's playing as Lou's entering the temple and walking up between all the monks and shite, that is Stabbing Westward with Lost. And for whatever reasons, probably because the singer's a pussy bitch, none of the 3 Stabbing Westward songs in this movie, they're all in this movie, made it onto the soundtrack. So the soundtrack that I came to, the soundtrack that I came to love for the longest time is completely missing some shit. Only reason I own a Stabbing Westward album is because of this movie.
Yeah, like, I've had, like, Lost by Stabbing Westward, like, on my computer for years and years because it was in this movie. I thought I just downloaded one of the soundtracks, but
Nope.
it must have been, like...
Someone did a good job and they added it in.
Yeah.
I really like the architecture here because
Yeah.
it doesn't really look like standard Eastern architecture. It really looks. It already has a fantasy vibe to it, you know.
Yeah,
It feels like a Street Fighter background.
Well, I mean, it
It
looks
does,
very
yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
they're
in
in
that
they're
sense.
in Thailand. This isn't actually like China, but it works. Like,
It just makes you think of like the Palace Gates arena and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's got a cool look to it.
But it sets up a nice innocence too. Like right now, we're zoning in on the children running. You know, it's a good contrast to like the horribleness of Outworld we see later. Like I like that.
Well, speaking
I like
of
that foil, I guess.
of the little kid monks, and the fact that Liu has a grandfather in this movie, I always wondered, and this goes back to like the fact that Great Kung Lao has 10 generations of descendants. How does a monk have kids? Like, don't they have a vow of chastity or something?
Maybe they recruit really early.
Maybe they're all honorary Laos. It's like Vader. It's a title.
Well,
The
because like
fate of the world.
in the games, like Liu Kang is adopted by the monks. His parents
Right.
died when he was little or something. But like again, Great Kung Lao had kids, and there's nothing in his backstory about leaving the temple.
Maybe he did so well in the tournament that they allowed him and his descendants to get laid. Eventually, he was the exception.
Win the Mortal Kombat tournament, the gods will give you immortality and will let you have sex.
Fringe benefit.
Possible. You know, with this scene here, like, as the first time you see Raiden,
Yeah.
it's, again, another contrast. He's very serious here. He's very much like the Thunder God. And then the humor kind of slowly trickles in. Again, I thought that was smart.
Yeah,
I thought that was
it's
well
a
done.
smirk
You start-
here, it's sarcastic comments
You start,
there.
yeah, like you start realizing it right away that there's something a bit different from him than what you may have expected if you're reading the Malibu comics or whatnot. He's much different. This is.
I think the reason I like Lambert's personality more than the one in the games, though, is because I think this actually makes more sense for a guy who, for the past 9 tournaments, has watched all his fighters die. Like, he expects them to lose at this point, so he's kind of, like...
What the hell?
He has the same attitude I have towards the MK franchise after so many games where they fucked up the story, where he's just all like, yeah, whatever happens, happens.
You heard it here first, folks. In 40 years' time, Rachel's going to be wearing that hat, those beggar scarves, and still posting on MKO.
I already
Flipping
own a
newbies.
Raiden hat. I can wear it anytime I like.
But it would have been nice in
God.
Annihilation if we saw a different side of Raiden from when
God,
you
get
saw
out of
the
his
actual
way.
Earthrummers win, you know?
It would have been nice if we saw a Raiden in Annihilation who wasn't played by James Remar.
It would have been nice if we didn't have an Annihilation, if we had, like, a
There's
genuine
also
sequel.
Which reminds me, another
Would've
thing.
Did he forget his bag there? I think he forgot his bag.
Dude, he totally forgot his bag. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, right?
I just noticed this.
It's gonna be the most awkward walk back.
He'll have one change.
What the hell are my
entire
drawers?
tournament. Well, no, he does have one pair of clothes the entire tournament.
Just plays it off.
And this is probably why he throws his bags into the water, because he just pissed
Better.
off that he lost his
Better,
bag.
No one can.
Art lead, art lead, art lead, art
That
lead.
picture would have been
That fucking picture. What was he doing? Hey, you're Art Lee, aren't you? Yeah.
That is very random and dangerous.
Please
What I was
stop
about to
that.
say.
Put up a shield or something.
So what I was about to say about, I read in that article that Paul Anderson, the whole reason he's made all of those crappy Resident Evil movies and he won't let the franchise go is because he regrets not making Annihilation. And he decided,
wow.
I'll never abandon a franchise again.
Oh God, we're responsible for so much pain.
Yeah, right? Imagine the alternate universe where he did make Annihilation and if it hadn't sucked because it had a real director. And then the Resident Evil movies wouldn't have been by him.
It would have been a mostly better world. But I mean, like I said, I still have reservations about this movie.
Live in.
God damn it, we're in the Bizarro verse. God fucking damn it.
Hey, it's Jax.
But without a mustache, which always pissed me the hell
Yeah,
off.
Jax without a mustache has always bothered me. Like Tobias's artwork in the old strategy guides, it's not right.
The
You
fucking
can't have Jax without a
MK3,
mustache.
and they based the fucking MK3 retro costume off of that artwork because he's got no damn mustache there either.
Bugs me. John Parrish had a mustache in the actual game models. He should
Yeah.
have the mustache in that retro skin.
What about the ship?
It's a good shot right there.
Yeah.
We're stabbing westward too. That's it, Benji. Come to Papa.
But another funny thing is they spell Jax with 2 X's in the movie credits at the end.
Yeah.
Isn't that
No,
like porn
you know.
type for? I don't. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but
I might never have associated Basement Jax with Jax if not for that little double X spelling. Where's your head at? Hold low punch, forward, 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 release low punch. Creepy boat, creepy blue boat.
Anderson had a lot of fun with the lighting in this movie. The lighting is not
Oh
subtle.
yeah, look
at
at all this blue,
Oh, yeah.
man.
From green in Kang's room to blue here. It's downright red in places later on. Yellow in the ground.
even at the Temple of Light, it's not just daytime, it's like super fucking daytime. Like there's no humidity at all.
I love the guy snickering in back as she holds the gun to his chin.
Yeah.
You got schooled.
He looks like ECW wrestler Stevie Richards.
Douche face.
See, here's Lou being funny. He can do it too.
That Robin Shaw really loosened up for this role. He really had fun with it. And again, that's kind of what I like about this movie is everything feels sincere. Everything feels, even if it's cheesy, it feels very organic and real to me. You know, I'm never able to not suspend belief.
I'll say, here comes the biggest downer for me of the whole movie is the way they use Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
I was about to say, speaking of suspension of disbelief, this is probably the only time where they fucked up someone's story royally, and very few people give a shit because they're still so awesome.
Yeah, the rest of the movie is so accurate, it doesn't even bother me that much.
It still bothers me a lot.
It bothered the shit out of me when I was like 12, but now I look back and I'm all like, well, this is as close as we're ever gonna get.
Yeah. This is a
When I-
great shot, too, right here.
There's a lot of good cinematography.
Hand on the door.
It took me like 6 years to realize they had sleeves. But now I know.
I kept expecting them to actually do like a spin-off Scorpion Sub-Zero Lin Kuei movie for the longest time to right that wrong.
Well,
Shame it's never really truly happened.
the shame of it is, I mean, this is an hour-and-a-half movie. If it had been a full 2 hours, they could have done Scorpion and Sub-Zero's story right.
Fuck your gun.
This was a surprise here.
So badly want to interview, I guess it would be Anderson who made the choice. Why the snake monster instead of a spear? What do snakes have to do with scorpions?
It makes him look more supernatural and creepy, and I wouldn't mind all that much if they went that route with him for one game. This is an alternate costume.
His name is Scorpion, not Snakehand.
Why was Raiden's lightning like color specific to each character right there? That was weird.
Thank you, you know?
That's a
What's
good
that?
It's like blue lightning for you and yellow lightning for you.
He likes to mix it up.
It's more of a pink, really.
It's kind of Ghostbusters-ish in general, just how all the colors come together.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably the effect of this movie that's aged the poorest was right there, yeah. That or maybe reptile parts later on.
So maybe he was shooting Scorpion with protons.
And I like how they've already disappeared. They were just gone.
Yeah, like, where did they go? Their bodies were...
Did a power walk out the door. I mean...
Maybe they were never there at all.
Ninja, vanish!
They spell Raiden with a Y in the subtitles.
Yeah, it's like that in the credits too. I guess they were going by the home versions.
MK2. I think Super Nintendo MK2.
No water, just fog. We're still clearly on the ocean, people.
This isn't a movie set at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
What the fuck was that?
That was Raiden.
It was nothing.
Heard that line before? Who the fuck?
I love Lambert's voice. You have embarked on a sacred mission.
You cannot participate in combat.
A tournament called Mortal Kombat.
Dead.
I kid because I love.
No, same. I mean, I love Lambert.
I love Lamp.
You really love the lamp, or are you just saying that to fit in?
I'm just
Who
saying
else,
it
is
to
now
fit in.
who else is now picturing a lamp with a long white wig and the hat? It's Lambert. I love
He's
his
got really
little
nice hair.
smiles.
If you want
It's all wavy.
yeah, this the wig doesn't it works. It doesn't look that wiggy.
It works almost too well. Like he's got like a Vidal Sassoon kind of shine going on.
Maybe he's bored with it. Maybe it's.
That is one of my other bummers about the movie, that Lambert actually never has a fight scene.
Yeah,
Badass
I
he
don't
doesn't,
know.
but I agree. I was waiting for it too.
I mean, I don't know who it would be. Like the mentor role, the way it plays in the movie works so well. I can't imagine who we would fight, but
I would have liked a training segment. I think that could have been interesting. It would have been a good use of Raiden.
yeah.
Ha 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 ha. Sorry.
But it would have taken out the whole bait and switch with Sonya and Cage coming onto the tournament, so I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, there is a way to do Raiden as both a fighter and a mentor, but you'd have to go with the actual, like, him entering into the tournament, and then maybe you could have, like, the way I wrote it in my own attempt was that he and Liu fought each other, and at the end he just sort of surrenders and lets Liu take the victory and continue on in the tournament because he's like, yeah, you've proven yourself to me. I know you're good enough.
That works. I know if the second movie had been good, that would have been a great opportunity for saying, hey, Raiden has to fight now. The stakes are that much higher. But the second movie was a piece of shit, so we never got to see that done right. I mean, they tried to do it, but it was horrible.
I still love that entire scene with the skulls.
Again, I
inside.
imagine if Anderson had stayed on, to direct the second one, I imagine he would have fought for more budget, you know?
Because this movie made bank. It did really well.
Yeah, this movie was #1 for 3 weeks in a row when it debuted.
And I mean, for good reason, too. I mean, the trailer for this movie is excellent. It is like Shadley was saying, that was a really good scene there, and it's perfect trailer material. I mean, if you look at the lighting, if you look at the stance of the characters, it works perfectly.
The way they used the theme music and then had a shot of every character when it said their name, that got me hype as a kid.
Remember there was a deleted scene here. They might mention it in the DVD credits or whatnot, but like they meet up with a couple of monks to ask them directions to the place, and like when they don't answer, I think it's Johnny or Sonya like grabs him by the shoulder and turns him around, and his mouth is stitched shut. I wish that was still in the film. I really do.
Yeah, there's a bunch of bits in the novelization about the shadow priests. Like, whenever Shang doesn't personally watch a tournament match, there's always a shadow priest there to watch and record who won.
Did Liu Kang just, like, abandon his leather jacket? Isn't he wearing
It's probably in one of Johnny's suitcases.
He just keeps it there. I
He
feel like
just progressively loses clothes throughout the film until it's just pants. Pretty
So he
well.
has no shirt at the end.
yeah, he does. I feel like Johnny has more and more luggage each time we see him too. Like he's just picking up more and more.
Consider Johnny.
Like, there's no way all of that was in the trunk of that limo he arrived in.
Exactly. And then when he arrived on the boat earlier, it didn't look like he had that much. Now it looks
But you have to
considerably
have
less.
that much, or else you don't have the Weebles wobble scene face first into the water.
Right. But now it looks like he has less, so there's clearly some...
Well, now he's clearly got much less.
Yeah, he's been
to the
dropping
mist,
it all
gone
the way
forever.
down the stairs.
No more steps. Did anyone else like imagine some of the statues as MK characters playable in a game? I know I did.
Well, I mean, that's sort of the point of it's supposed to remind you of the Warrior Shrine.
Uh-huh.
They do feel a little Labyrinth, a little Jim Henson to me. Not that one. Not that one either.
They are all very
especially not that one, but that one for sure.
Well, let's zoom in on the last one. Haha.
Yeah, the close-up of the skull face.
Could it be a secret character?
I'm game.
No.
When a
That
woman looks like
was
that,
an Ermac cameo. Enjoy it while it lasts.
means she's a secret character. And speaking of secret characters,
Like how Shang was literally 5 feet behind them. He's just
just
like...
following.
You walked all the way up those stairs. He's like dodging luggage and shit.
They look behind him to see if he's there, and he's just like, oh, he's just hiding behind a lamppost.
Or did he ever walk up the stairs at all?
Ooh. Although I don't like that line from Shang, because some parts of this movie feel a little too exposition-y for me. Like they didn't know how to include that information
Yeah, like
about Katana
Reptile
in the
doesn't
film.
know that Katana's the princess.
or that it's even relevant. By the way, she's 10,000 years old. Just want to throw that out.
Yeah, that's important to her character.
Reptile with that one shot.
If she were 9,000 years old, she wouldn't be a threat at all. But because it's 10, that makes all the difference.
Oh wait, she's a cougar. Oh well, in that case,
it always bothered me that they just take such care bringing the food down for them to eat and all that, and they're plainly enjoying themselves. And there is a scene in the novel where it's like, oh, this is some sort of exotic weird. They have this Indiana Jones Temple of Doom moment, like chilled monkey brains moment or whatever.
It does kind of feel like that though. It's that vibe.
There's a little bit of it, but it's. I mean, they're obviously eating fried chicken, so.
They have that moment, and they're bringing all this lovely food down, and they just throw it all away.
They didn't even let it cool down first.
It's like, no, fuck this. You're not eating. You're
I think Shang doesn't want to freak them out just yet, so he's holding back on the chilled monkey brains.
Either you burn the roof of your mouth, or you don't eat it all, because that's what's happening here.
And that scene,
I will serve them the chilled monkey brains after I give the speech about how this is to the death and they didn't expect it.
And that scene where like Raiden's being like shut off from behind the doors, I always felt bad for him. Like, oh, come on, give
it's like, is she not allowed in the banquet room?
Give him some chicken, come on.
It's like, no gods allowed here. This is outside his domain.
Just can't stop thinking of Johnny Tsunami.
Dude, his hair looked perfect for old Shang Tsung and that shit, dude. It was immaculate.
It always bothered me that he had the mustache when he played Heihachi in Tekken, because he doesn't. That's the only thing missing from his portrayal of Shang. He doesn't have the facial hair.
Yeah.
Like, he's willing to go full accurate for a fucking Tekken movie, but not this.
I like how they throw it. I like how hard they're throwing the pillows. Like,
Fuck
they're
no,
so angry.
Fuck this. Fuck this.
This is the most action they'll see the whole time, man.
This guy coming up is unjustly confident. He's literally wearing a red shirt on his head, and he's so confident.
Yeah,
So he knows he's about to die, so he's gonna have some fun with it.
he's like henchman number 22, and he's gone. I'll take on a named character.
Well, yeah, but the first 21 can't do that with their ribs.
And he makes those.
Guy's fat, dude. There's two fat dudes back there. There's two fat dudes back there.
I can't hear it, but doesn't he make those weird noises like fweh, fweh, fweh?
Yeah. I love those noises. I think it's
And I love how Sub-Zero just whines at the start. It's like, yeah, come on, let's get this over with. Come on.
It's probably Jason David Frank under the mask. That's why he makes those noises.
I can believe it.
Hootseat, ah!
Whatever Kano was watching this whole thing from, anyway.
That always bugged me. He says flawless victory. I mean, it technically is, but when you kill him, it's a fatality. He uses the terms interchangeably the whole movie.
We should say both. You should say flawless victory, fatality.
We're seeing a battle of, like, we have all this red, but a little blue's peeking in right now. It's like, it's all extreme colors. There is no subtlety.
Where are you going? I'm gonna kill this guy. You don't listen, do you?
You know how much better MK9 would have been if it had the boat in the banquet? Like, those are two of the most iconic fucking things. The first two things I think about when I think MK Tournament is the boat scene in the banquet.
The boat scene for sure. The banquet, actually, I kind of forgot about up till now. I mean, I remember the Goro Kano scene.
Well, I think about the banquet so heavily because it's a direct ripoff. There's a huge banquet in Enter the Dragon, too. And Mortal Kombat 1 is basically Enter the Dragon with magic.
Goro just looks so lonely back there.
At least you can figure that he's, like, intentionally being kept back till the 11th hour. Scare the crap out of people.
Still lonely.
Well,
I don't know if y'all noticed earlier, but Katana had the same setup almost exactly like she did earlier at the banquet. By herself,
they just moved her umbrella and her picnic inside.
Yeah, they picked up her shit and just, like, strolled her over there.
The whole day is
sitting on the carpet. They just carried it.
She's even looking to the side slightly. Like, she didn't even turn her fucking body.
She had 4 identical palette swaps to pick her up and
if you're princess, then you have servants. And if you have servants, you might as well use them.
No, indeed.
We need, like, 30 pits on top of each other.
See, that's why Girl was just yelling for absolutely no reason, wandering around.
Because he can't find his way either.
Where the hell am I? God damn it! All these
many
cameras look the
corridors.
same.
This movie also has a ton of just cuts to different scenes. There's very little transitions.
Well, I kind of like that better. Like, some movies, like if you look at the Star Wars movies, George Lucas loves the cartoony transition wipes.
Right, right.
He's a fan. You know, amongst all that food, there's a cake to the left of Kano, or I guess to his right.
There's a cake? I never noticed the cake.
No, there's a cake.
Outworld does cakes?
They do. It looks
It's
good.
wonderful.
You see his guts and everything.
Yeah, there it is. There's
Yeah.
They took one slice. Someone had a
Lunch.
slice.
Christ, oh my god. I'm never gonna unsee that fucking cake now. Thank you, Tim.
That's what I'm here for.
Now, when
Cooking
Kano
with Scorpion.
spits the bone into that goblet, was he drinking out of that? Like,
Maybe it's broth. Maybe it's pure broth.
It's a spittoon. Oh, I just noticed you have 2 other arms.
yeah, right?
Better keep my cool.
I've been eating dinner with you all this time. I didn't realize you were so fucking tall.
And I'm gonna get this out of the way right now. Goro still looks good today.
Yeah.
He
Not
does.
perfect. Not perfect, but fucking close. He looks
You know,
so much better than most of the CG out there. I miss animation.
I have to agree. And, you know, I made a comment yesterday when we were catching up on the comic, where I said every time they draw the Shokan with human-looking white eyes, it bugs the shit out of me because it looks so creepy and wrong. Goro in this movie has white human eyes, and it seems fine. Like, I don't understand what they're doing wrong in the comic, like why the art is so bad in that respect, but it seems to work for the film.
Oh, it wasn't broth.
Oh, lucky for them. Back. Oh.
Yeah,
What
that was
change, like?
Kano spit a chicken bone into his own wine, and the goblet's still there in the next shot.
Yeah, the goblet's still there. That's what I was going to say.
I would do one thing differently. If we did this again, I would want one set of Goro's arms being all like grand and majestic, and the other set looking all casual and like meticulous. And I would work off that a little more, but with the limitations here, I get it.
Have like a split personality in how he uses his arms.
I do it, yes.
Like, these are the strong ones, and these are the precise ones.
The cake has grapes on top of it. They put grapes on top of the cake. What madness is this?
Never noticed just
They
how
were
much.
behind the cake. How could Kano reach them?
It's all just red and blue.
You know, I like this leather trench coat Shang wears. I wish he had something like that get up in the games.
Yeah. No, I was a fan of the trench coat as well.
I always appreciated that. How like they were so faithful to so many of the designs, but went in an entirely different direction with Shang,
Look at
and
that
they just
cheese.
nailed it.
No, I agree with that, though.
Are
That
those
is true.
Timbits? Are those Timbit donuts off in the lower left corner?
It's a big fucking cheese. Is no one else concerned about that cheese?
I'd also like to know how big those candles were to begin with, because there's wax all over the sides of each of them.
This meal's been prepared for a long time.
Well, if you're going to have that many candles, and you're going to actually use them all the time because there's no light down in that cave, you might as well get the biggest, longest one that last forever.
Wouldn't it be hilarious, though, if, like, these were new candles and it's, like, barely after dusk? They're just that
Jesus
fucking-
shit.
Again, if you have slaves, you might as well use them for something.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a
Well, it's
that's a
Outworld.
thing.
Those candles might be made out of human fat.
True. That the whole thing with the 3 hiding behind the rocks was very Scooby-Doo to me. A lot of what they do in this movie is very Scooby-Doo.
On the other hand, they kind of have to be in the scene somehow, otherwise why does the audience who's following the good guys see this scene between bad guys?
Yeah. No, in this scene was the
fact
intent
that
that they were...
notice leads directly into, you know, it fits the plot.
So the chick the chick with a torch just shows up at the end of a corridor, doesn't beckon to you or anything, just leaves. We should probably follow her.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to
She's
ask.
totally
was the
helping us out
idea?
here.
were they supposed to follow her and like Reptile cock-blocked them? What was the deal here?
Reptile was, because Shang told him to keep an eye on Kitana and make sure that she doesn't, talk to the good guys.
So I guess that was the idea. She was supposed to rendezvous with him sooner and give him, the whole spiel about stuff. And then Reptile jumps in and kind of cuts
the
that
element
down.
that brings life, you think?
Something like that, yeah. Something.
It can't be very potent acid if it just mildly irritates him.
Yeah, it's like Lysol.
His face is
Yeah,
smoking,
right?
but he's okay.
Doesn't even need water. He's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, like at least Takeda needed water to wash his eyes out in the game.
Totally went this way, Johnny. We believe you.
Yeah. Clearly, someone has been here before us.
Put all the spiderwebs back. Just...
It's such a great gag. And how they're still following him. They're just letting him have this one.
I'm just waiting to see other colors in this movie. Like, I'm still just set on this damn orange and
Sony's
blue.
best line in the film.
See, he was leading the way.
Johnny's face.
He was leading the way, and she's covered with spider webs, not him. Oh, it's techno time. That cake is still there.
Since we're seeing the hooded guys get to fight, I want to mention another thing. I think it's either the novelization or an early draft of the script called all these guys Barakas.
Huh.
That would have been sick, though.
Yeah, that would have been.
It would have said a lot more about the characters, too, because they're
I
fighting,
would've liked
like,
to see
dual-bladed
the,
monsters.
I would have liked
Yeah.
to see the masked guards with the fox masks from the actual game.
Is that what that is?
I
always thought it was like a weird gesture head, like the In Flames logo.
It's like a fox or a jackal or something. I don't know. It's supposed to look Asian culture-y.
I always thought it looked sick. I just never knew what it was, but...
If I remember right, in the novel, there was... Yeah. Like 6 of them came down. 1 went after Sonya, 2 went after Lou, and Johnny was like, 3? Why do I get 3?
I like that, though. That's tight.
Yeah, it's a good line.
They noticed the piece of cake, too.
The cake is top tier, man, I'm telling you.
I dig it.
High priority. Clap. Clap. Clap.
See, why can't we have this in the games?
Because the games are all dark and gritty and Nolan.
Yeah, but I mean,
You've been chosen for a sacred mission.
is it dark and gritty to have Blunder God running around getting everybody killed by accident and then going, "Whoopsie, I didn't mean it."
Unfortunately, yes.
Like, I feel like every time somebody dies in MK9, the soundtrack should go da 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 Raiden.
It has begun.
Or like a shot of him shrugging his shoulders. That's our Raiden.
This is cool, though. I like this right here.
Yeah, this is good.
Who needs to fight when no one will fuck with you? Take the poll. It's all yours.
I'm going to
Why do we
purposely
taste
be
that
vague. I'm going to be
That
vague
guy-
so people who aren't watching it with the movie
That
will
guy
have...
in the center is so pissed off. He really carried
Yeah.
that scene.
Just staring daggers at Johnny. Ooh, I want to get him so bad, but I can't. I'll punch his smug face in.
There's a centaur back there. I never noticed that.
Huh.
Yes,
Some,
there is.
A much better acknowledgement and representation of the centaur race than we've had in the games since MK.
I'm going to pretend the one in the foreground is Havoc because all I can see is a morning star. You can't tell me it's not.
Oh, weapons and instruments being used throughout this tournament in the ages. Yeah, always wanted this as a background. I love the sandy beach.
Well, it's basically the courtyard. It's just a
We
range.
kind of got it in Deception as well.
A tropical background. I don't know. It's different enough to me.
I can see that they were going for our version of the courtyard, and I think they did a good job with it.
Almost like a DOA vibe to me, but that's because I really like the DOA movie, believe it or not.
Where'd Liu Kang get those pants from?
Jacket from John Cage's luggage.
I guess.
They were under his prior pants.
Yes.
He's still stripping.
He wore 2 layers because he knew that he was not going to bring his
He's still got a wife beater at this point. He's always had this stuff on.
Yeah, that was under the shirt he was wearing last night.
This guy got a name, or is he just Tiger Roaring Dreadlock dude?
There's something
like,
written on his arm. I can't tell what it is.
Supposed to be from Outworld. Is the tiger roar a supernatural thing, or is it just, hey, we added a fun special effect here, or sound effect rather? Because he's just a regular guy, but there's the tiger roar.
Up little twirl, and down he goes.
When I was a kid, I was thinking DJ this whole match. Like, that's all this guy reminds me of.
Well, when I was a kid, around the same time this movie came out, I used to watch WMAC Masters, where this guy, Hakeem the Machine Alston, was a competitor. It was sort of like a kung fu show, but it was scripted like pro wrestling. So I always just remembered him from that, but now when I look at him,
it's the same actor and everything.
Yeah, that's the guy. But
see, I love this kick right here where Liu Kang's like, Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Ah! Get the fuck away from me, psycho!
Look at that hair.
But now when I see this guy, I think of that guy Kenny from Maximilian Streams on Twitch.
Oh yeah, the Mortal Kombat guy. Yeah.
I just used to wonder, like, whether or not Kai was maybe partially inspired by this guy, the sticks, this just fight in general.
It's possible. I feel like,
maybe a little.
He's got the pants for it.
I always, like, Kai kind of bugged me in MK4, because he was billed as a black guy, but he was actually kind of like just a dark tan in the actual in-game model. So I was all like, wait, is he really supposed to be black? I can't tell.
I feel like that guy lost that fight
really
easily.
Why the fuck do the representations of, like, his bones and his muscles come out of him?
Gotta be honest, I don't like the Soul Steel in this movie.
Well, that's another thing. The Soul Steel, like the Morph, looks different every time he does it. I actually think the
second one looks
skin
better.
and bones out of him is the coolest effect of the ones they use.
With that.
I'd like it better if it were green.
I like it when it's the eye. When he falls into the vortex in the eye.
No, I agree with that.
Cartoony, where like Art Lean's ghost is screaming, "No!"
But it feels more soul-y to me, you know?
I can see where you're coming from. I just thought it looked goofy.
I don't know, when you suck out like the spiritual muscle tissue out of somebody, it's conflicting thoughts in my brain.
Well, to me it sort of reminds me of the way they become withered when they do it in MK2.
I just feel like it needed a green filter. And speaking of stripping...
I like that he shaves his chest into a triangle. Nice.
Kano's got the treasure trail, baby.
You point him where they need to go.
Yeah.
Top to bottom.
I also like his pants. His pants are nice and striped.
Big old swagger over the camera. I always love that angle.
Getting a lot of Billy Madison vibes from this scene.
This is like the most quotable moment in the entire movie for me. This entire exchange.
Yeah, I've quoted.
Yeah,
I quote that pretty much.
Every line Kano says is quotable.
Yeah.
It's pretty much Kano's lines and your brother's soul is mine.
Even that sound effect. It's not just it's with a little bit of a tongue flip.
Again, like Lyndon Ashby, it's a shame that Trevor Goddard didn't become bigger after this movie.
I want to travel back to like 2002 and save the man's life. It's not fair.
Yeah. As far as I know, after this it was Pirates of the Caribbean, but he played a much smaller role.
Yeah,
he was just one of the pirates running around the city.
I can't even call it a bit part, really.
He got like crushed by a sign or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, something like that.
I would totally play shirtless Black Pants Kano. I'm a big fan of like understated designs, you know? Sometimes less is more. That's actually why I think that Abel's one of the best characters to come out of like Street Fighter 4. if I can picture it as an old school costume, yeah, I love it.
I like Abel a lot. I think the hair is the only part of Abel that doesn't mesh for me, but everything else about Abel's pretty sick.
And yeah, that very fan servicey leg grab there, totally shot in reverse and flip back around.
I don't know. The thing that's most memorable about Abel to me is his voice reminds me of Tommy Wiseau for some reason.
Yeah, I can see that.
Man, he dies so easily too.
Okay,
that's kind of a theme in this movie.
Yeah, this is...
These deadly, well-trained warriors.
As far as
go
fight
down
scenes
in like
go,
5
Sonya
punches.
really gets the shaft in this film.
That really is just about it.
That was the only one.
At least she didn't die. Like Kano just showed up and died.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. In the novelization, like, Shang is taunting her to finish him, and Liu is going, no, that's what Shang wants you to do. Don't... And she actually spares Kano in the book.
And again, for our listeners who have not read the novelization, she had another quasi-fight scene with Jade in the original script, like one of the early scripts, where like she just takes this deep bow, and Jade, mimicking Earth custom, does the same. But the second her eyes are lowered, Sonya just kicks her in the face and knocks her off without even like starting the fight. That would have been nice to see.
I like how there's a limit to Scorpion's spear.
Except that if you were a fan of Jade, it would be complete bullshit.
It just went like 300 feet, and then that's it.
That one tree stopped it.
300 feet was the limit of his cord from his body, or whatever the hell it is.
His umbilical hand cord.
Well, there's got to be a limit.
Smoosh. His eyes, the narrowing eyes.
Yeah, he's like, God damn it.
And right there was like, I will take advantage of the recharge time after he throws the spear.
So here's another
the
thing.
recovery films.
Apparently, there was an earlier cut of this film where the fight ended right there. Johnny's shadow kick connected and knocked Scorpion out.
Oh, it makes sense with the movie the way it's gone so far.
So test audiences said, we like the movie, but there's not enough fight scenes. So the two they added to the film were the rest of this fight and Liu versus Reptile. And those are the two best fights in the movie, so thank God.
And here's where I became a Fear Factory fan for life. Fuck you! Bang! Bang! This entire scene is my favorite fight scene in the movie. There's something about all the blows, all the back and forth. It just looks like it hurts so much more than any other fight in the film.
Yeah, there's way more, like, force behind these blows and, like, just angry punching.
It feels more like a struggle to me. It feels more like Johnny really has to fucking try.
Yeah, like, in the Liu versus Reptile fight, Liu is evenly matched or has the upper hand for most of it, whereas Johnny's kind of desperately, barely not losing here.
God, they all look painful.
Another good thing about this fight is the end of it is much more legitimate. Like, Johnny genuinely beats him. Like, it's not a cheap shot. It's not bullshit.
Just kicking him in the face over and over.
It's also one of the more clever uses of a actual in-game fatality. Because, I mean, you can do the toasty as long as nobody actually gets burned to death. You can fit that within a PG-13 rating.
Yeah.
And that is, I mean, a lot of people who look back on this movie and then go, like, compared to, say, Legacy or what they want the new one to be, they go, man, it has to be R. This movie was lame because it didn't have fatalities in it. And I'm all like, I actually like it better this way as a PG-13 because it forces them to focus more on story and character than on gore and shock value.
It forces creativity, and honestly, I don't care about the gore. You guys know this. But...
You know, I'd say it's slightly important, you know, maybe one or two nasty deaths is nice, but fight scenes are what make a Mortal Kombat, like, experience.
Yeah.
Get down here.
What I'm thinking of specifically is if you look at the, you know, the comic, if you look at Legacy, if you look at MK9, a lot of times there's just people die because in Mortal Kombat people have to die. We need a gory death scene here. And it's like, man, only like one or two people died per tournament when Tobias was writing, and they all served the plot.
We're
The
gonna
point
get
of
to that.
fatalities is the whole stakes, the height of what's at risk here, That's why the fatalities are important to me, but here we
it's
go.
like-
I actually love the fact that it's a slow morph, a relatively quick morph. You can see his skin changing as he takes the mask off. It's a cool
it
touch.
makes him more supernatural. I
It's an
also like
angrier-looking
bleeds
skull.
lava. Like, I
Unfortunately-
kind of wish Scorpion bled lava in the games.
It also
No, I may have
increases
to
his
take-
recovery frames.
He was negative 26. He didn't have a chance. Full combo punish. But maybe I take back what I said. That ending does feel a little forced. I feel like Scorpion probably could have done something there.
Well,
How
it
did
was,
Johnny know he was going to explode? How did Johnny know to fucking gun it?
it's Scorpion's
Johnny
own
would have
fault. It
been
gave him a
screwed
mercy.
if there weren't weapons on the ground, right? I love the hand that flies off.
When I saw him in the theater, someone screamed "friendshipality."
Like, they care when a body
I like it.
explodes and you can actually pick out the body parts in the air.
The movie takes a little bit of a lull here for me. It's an important moment, but coming after that,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like one of the things that could have been done a lot better is the Liu Kang and Kitana relationship. Because they don't so much come across as love interests as she's girl Raiden, and then they're holding hands at the end of the movie.
Even
he's got
though I
more-
do agree with that, I do feel like Kitana is important because when I saw this movie, she was the MK2 element that I was looking forward to, and MK2 was my jam back then. So Kitana's still something special for me in this film.
Yeah.
I wish she was a little more blue and a little less black leather, but
I just miss the mask.
They ran out of blue for the movie. They had too much blue.
they need to, thigh highs,
And
That's
he's got
me.
more of a relationship with her than he now does with his wife beater, which has now been abandoned,
Yeah.
unloved, and lost to the winds. He has lost more clothing.
It would be funny
He
if
got
by
to
the
this
time
point,
he
he's like, I'm naked enough now. This is a good place to stop.
by the time he fights Shang, he's just in socks.
Shang Tsung killed my brother. Please put some pants back on. Damn it.
Just make out right now. Do it.
So Raiden and Kitana got together before this scene to arrange the water to be there, right?
What if they just started having sex? Like, what would he do?
Yeah, right? Like,
Oh, finish
I
her.
don't know, looking at the expression on Shang's face, I think he'd be down with that.
Oh, we got more blue restored here.
I have found that exact gargoyle at a goth shop, by the way.
Hmm.
I wanted to buy it, but it was like $250. Raiden gets his only little bit of nourishment throughout the entire film.
He's like, I'm so
Can't get any
hungry.
chicken, I'm just gonna have some water. Fucking inhospitable
Hilarious.
outworlders.
fucking Liu Kang throws the bucket. There's like no water left. He fucking drank it all.
I was going to finish that.
That son of a bitch, Raiden. That thirsty son of a bitch.
Well, my point with the transitions earlier was I wasn't implying that they don't use like actual transitions. I'm saying they don't ever show the characters actually going to the next scene. It's always he's here,
Yeah, just
now
cuts.
he's here. He's here, now he's here.
I would have liked that. I agree.
It just seems very jumpy. Like he was fighting Katana a second ago, now it's like, oh, now you're against Sub-Zero.
Like how Sub-Zero shows up late. He just comes down the stairs and plays it off.
But the arms like cocked at the sides. That slow, steady walk. You know he means
If-
business.
Oh yeah.
If anybody in an official capacity had also shown up, Liu Kang would have been screwed. Because
Again.
this whole fight, he only wins because Shang's not there and two other good guys helped him cheat.
Again, there's
This
a
might be
moment
my
there.
favorite fight in the movie, actually.
There's a moment there at the very start, because, like, again, in the novelization, they say Liu Kang attacks first because he can feel the cold starting to overwhelm him. From the second he's down the stairs, Sub-Zero's freezing the air around him.
That sounds legit. In the games, Sub-Zero always has steam coming off him and shit. It's like he's never not freezing stuff. He just doesn't freeze a lot of stuff unless he wants to.
That's probably what this match is missing. I would have liked more ice effects, more ice combat, but I guess budget,
Plus,
I
I
do
mean,
like that mask too.
you got to keep in mind when this movie was made, the only games that were out were 1 and 2. So, I mean, the idea of Sub-Zero constantly breathing steam and having arms covered in frost, that didn't come around until 10 years later.
No, I agree with that, but I mean like projectiles. Like it would have been cool if Liu Kang had to like dodge freezing shit, but
Yeah,
since he has to charge this stuff up like Dragon Ball style, I get why that.
Yeah, this whole globe thing, instead of actually just chucking the ice around, I don't know about that. Always
It's
kind
a good effect. Like I think even now it still looks pretty good, honestly. Like I love the particles. That so much right there near the bucket doesn't look quite as good, but when he's gathering around, that actually does work well for me.
For 95, it's not terrible.
Although I still don't like this. I don't like the idea of Sub-Zero freezing to death. That's still...
Well, I mean, impaling him on the spike is enough, really, isn't it?
I wish... Yeah, exactly. Why? I wish they'd stop there, you know? Just have him die. Have him bleed out. That would have worked well for me.
But maybe that would have been pushing the PG rating if his body hadn't frozen over. If he was just hanging on a stalactite. That would have been too gruesome for the censors.
You could just not show it. Just have him, like, gurgle for a little while off screen. This is why I don't direct movies. These people look extraordinarily healthy.
So...
Goro doesn't like hitting the face. Goro does not like punching people in the face, apparently.
No, he just likes to toss you. He's John Cena. Everybody's getting an attitude adjustment right now. That's why you can't see him.
All those poor people who were tossed to death. So sad. They were tossed so hard. I dig that cape.
It's
Goro with a cape works well for me.
Well, Goro is supposed to have a cape. Tobias drew him wearing a cape in the original comic.
Even the intro in MKX, he's got the cape.
That's true. That's true. Really, what good is being Prince if you can't wear a cape?
He's got really nice teeth. I just thought I'd say that.
They have very good hygiene in the realm of Shokan.
He's a prince.
It's important to look your best. That's why he fights in underpants.
Oh yeah. Although he's got the loin guard in the movie. In the game, I think it was just a straight up Speedo, right?
Yeah.
This is better.
I like the bar brawl atmosphere of this fight, where everybody's pushing back in. The fact that some fights have an audience and some don't is pretty inconsistent, though.
No, especially with the Katana Liu Kang thing, which I'm still confused about to this day.
Yeah.
Like, was that just a draw? Like, how does... I don't know.
Yeah, I think Shang just decided that Katana forfeited by fighting poorly. Like, I don't know how the rules work there. It's like, if you bore him too much and he gets tired of watching, he can end your fight for you. Which seems like a really easy way to eliminate a lot of good guys if he wanted to. I kind of feel like maybe Raiden should be all like, wait a second.
Yeah. But I want to toss him.
Yeah, like this... This is actually really disappointing to me that he only punches him to death once. Like, he never did the pummel. I thought that was coming when he lifted him up, and no, he just hits him once.
Yeah, it's
on the side of the neck. Like, it doesn't look fatal.
Wow, that was hardcore. That scream.
Yeah, she is really broken up about Artleen, the guy she's never talked to before. Like, Johnny's not the one who's screaming.
Goro wants to toss Artleen so bad right now, I know it. He's dying to toss that body.
He wants it.
And it wasn't a flawless victory. Goro got kicked very clearly.
Exactly.
That's chip damage.
What I'm saying. Shang keeps using the term flawless victory wrong the whole movie.
See, that's sexy. That Soul Steel looks really good.
Yeah, the part of the beginning where it lifts out of his body is okay, but the swirling into his eyeball bugged me. I don't know.
If it's going to be done right, he needs to hold up the body and extend his other
just
hand.
once
I
I'd like him
agree.
to reach his hands out and suck green shit, and then they wither. Man,
I don't know if Tagawa is strong enough. I don't know if he can do the one-hand lift. Why is everyone tucking in their fucking shirts?
Because it's 1995.
Shit looks bad.
Also, Lou has gone backwards in the getting progressively naked scale.
Johnny's luggage is getting progressively lighter.
Also, I'm not a professional fighter, so I don't know, but is it really wise for Johnny to always fight in slacks and a button-up shirt?
Yeah, because even Liu Kang has kind of like the baggy pants thing going on.
Sonya changes into a singlet.
And that's only because this is the 90s. If they made this movie now, she would have been wearing booty shorts or some shit like that.
Well, I think she does have, like, booty shorts. They're just on over the singlet.
They're low enough, I think.
Yeah, well, again, 1995. They didn't make booty shorts quite so short yet.
Exactly. They were still a long way coming.
Well, in Annihilation, doesn't she wear, like, short shorts?
I can't remember,
that's
actually.
True. That's true. Also, do Bridget Wilson's eyebrows do any other shape than angry?
Yeah, she's got the Vegeta thing going on like the whole movie.
She's got a severe case of resting bitch face.
We should just get a scene between Shang Tsung and Sonya where they're both trying to apologize and neither of them will take it. Seriously, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, you're gonna take that tone?
I don't think you're very sincere about this. So do you suppose somebody at some point was just looking at Mortal Kombat lore and went, we can't call his brother Chow, that sounds stupid.
I feel like we've been in this statue arena a lot.
I feel like we've seen a lot of orange and blue. I know I keep saying it, but dear God.
No,
I never noticed just how much of this movie is pure orange or pure blue. Or mixtures.
It's Poster, the movie. Everything must be orange and blue. Now, the monks let Liu come to the tournament because he has that dream. But does that mean it's like a vision? That it makes him the chosen one? Because I feel like Shang gave him that dream to scare him and psych him out.
Like, he makes eye contact and everything and, like, taunts him. Like, it's very clearly
he's
from
clearly
Shang.
talking directly to him. That's not a vision of, like, your great destiny. That's the bad guy screwing with you.
Or maybe it was the Great Destiny vision, and Shang Tsung just does that every time he kills somebody.
Maybe he hijacked the Destiny vision.
Although that's a very Shang
the gods
thing
wanted
to
to
do.
tell you to beat me, but fuck that. I'm gonna get you.
I'm crashing this party.
She's got short shorts on there right there.
Are those...
Well,
they don't seem that short.
They're shorts by 90s standards is the thing.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. They look more athletic to me. Athletic denim. Because that's probably a thing. But you're right about the trench coat. It's very unique to this movie, but it does work really well.
Yeah, it like fits the character a lot.
We never got it as an alternate costume, though, and maybe because it's hard to animate, but even Kano's vest eventually made it into the games.
Yeah, well... And the thing, you said, like, his wardrobe looks so different from the games, but when he takes the trench coat off for the final fight, he looks like MK3 Shang, except his pants aren't fucking yellow. So, I would say it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. And not only am I a fan of it, but I miss it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think so. That's another one of the
Yeah.
catchphrases of the movie. 'Cause when y'all were saying like Kano and well, the one-liners, the more
Yeah.
famous ones, that was the one I was trying to think of, but it just couldn't come to mind.
Yeah.
This is also vintage Raiden. Well, this scene at least, right? Then the smile
Yeah,
cracks,
yeah,
which is very unique to the movie, but still works, still good.
like this is to me Raiden A. Like this is the top Raiden. All Raidens should act like this Raiden.
And it drives me crazy. He almost had the long hair in MKX, but it didn't make it past the concept art.
I just keep seeing in the captions, "Rawr, rawr, rawr."
They do subtitle every RAR as RARRR exclamation point.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that guy?
I like the two guys who scream at each other and then scream at Goro. Yeah.
I want to know who the plaid warrior is.
They're like, it's like a football audience. Like some of them should be painted Goro team color.
They have fake like plastic arms and a flag. I could see it.
Yeah, there's like three-fingered one, the foam fingers.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Who's the guy looking down right behind Shang right now? He's just like,
like texting.
He's like ashamed to be standing next to Shang.
That's what he looked like. He's like looking on his phone, even though they weren't around.
Those pupils, man.
See, now that's a good animatronic when the pupils dilate.
The plaid guy's still hype.
Raiden punches the shoulder of the guy and then apologizes. So this fight scene in the novelization, and I guess in the script, was supposed to go on a lot longer than it does. Like, before they get to the cliff, Johnny's supposed to run into the warrior shrine with a chain, hiding behind the statues, and, like, gradually popping out and breaking Goro's arms one by one, until he only has the good one that he hangs from the cliff with left.
Yeah.
Like, to make him, you know, seem clever, like, because he tells Sonya, I have a plan, and shit. But I guess the reason they didn't film it was because there are, like, you know, pools of water in the Warrior Shrine set, and they didn't want the animatronic to potentially fall in one of them and get ruined because it was really hard to, like, it kept breaking down while they were trying to film. So they didn't want to make it any worse.
That's
Which
a
is
shame,
real
though.
shame because, yeah, that, like, I feel like this fight needed a
I'm
lot
sorry.
more content.
That what from Goro?
Yeah, that is straight up Daffy Duck.
You were behind me? But there was a line that I think was in the script. They edited it out because I think wasn't Johnny going to spare him?
Yeah, that's again in the novelization where he like offers him a hand, and Goro's like he'd rather die a warrior's death than die ashamed in his cave.
That would have been so much better.
Yeah, yeah. And now it's damsel in distress time because it's a movie.
Yep, and it's the 90s.
That whole Shang is hot for Sonya subplot is so weird to me.
It's kind of uncomfortable.
I guess it works in that way. Like, he's supposed to be a creeper. That's, you know, he's the bad guy, but I don't know that it was needed. I guess because this movie is actually sort of a combo of MK1 and 2, you gotta have Sonya kidnapped. But, I mean, I don't know. That's another thing that bugs me about current MK lore, like ever since Shaolin Monks. The idea that Sonya was kidnapped. Whereas the Tobias version, if you read the MK2 comic, is that her and Kano were still on Shang's Island when he, after he loses to Liu, he makes a big earthquake and it like gets swallowed up into the ocean. Well, they got teleported into Outworld, and they were found by the Shokan, and Goro was missing, so they assumed these guys killed Goro, and that's why they took him prisoner. Because, if you remember, Goro was thought to be dead from MK2 until MK4.
And I actually had a lot of theories about that, too. I think there's a great way they could have worked that into the story better than I think they did. Because I always thought Goro was being punished for losing. So now he's not dead, but he's incarcerated forever.
Well, I like the idea of the self-imposed exile. Because I liked Gorbak thinking that his son was dead and like yelling at Shao Kahn, "I want justice," and all that stuff. And like that being the reason why Kintaro came to the tournament.
My rationale was this: the idea that Shiva was loyal to Outworld and MK3, that was the reversal. When she found out what was happening to Goro, that's what kind of started the spark. That was kind of my rationale, but it both fit Goro's character, I think.
Yeah, I just think it's a shame that like
clicking noise.
Again, in modern canon, Goro just continued to stick around and be in more fights and job in all of them. Which just devalues his character. I do love the this Outworld set here, like how close it is to the wasteland in the games.
It's almost unbelievable that they took the time to be this accurate, but now that Cyborg mentioned the lighting, it actually makes too much sense. Like, they were waiting to do this scene. They could not wait to do the purple lighting.
We gotta get to the purple, man. We've done every color but purple.
This was also sick. When Liu Kang, even though he's invisible, Liu Kang uses his spider sense and just fucking snaps him out of the air. I love that.
And like, they're just casually standing there next to him, like, watch this.
This is confusing, though. This still is kind of weird to me.
This is the weirdest thing about the movie, is the way they do Reptile, like him being the little lizard man, and then this statue eats him and turns into a ninja.
And why is he squirming? Does he not want to be human and awesome? I don't...
Yeah, like, it seems like the statue literally, like, it's killing and eating him. But then he turns into the reptile we know from the games, and the announcer from the game says his name.
Yeah, that's so weird.
And even though this is my second favorite fight in the movie, it's not my first, it is the best fight environment we get in the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, this is the best arena.
I love that they put the window from the tower back there. Like, I wish this version of the tower was actually in a game. Like, if the tower had collapsed and was like this old ruined place now. It looks really cool.
It would have been great for something like Deception, I think.
Yeah. Or hell, MKX.
Definitely. Oh, fuck yeah.
Like, I feel like there's a distinct lack of old stages that now look shitty. Like, MKX would have been a great game for that.
And heaven forbid we have anything classic in MKX, right?
Yeah.
This suit looks good, though. Like, it doesn't look bad on Sub-Zero. I think it kind of looks weak on Scorpion. On Reptile, like, the sleeves, I feel like work a lot better. I couldn't tell you why.
Yeah, I can't really... I don't know, maybe it's just because it looks better in green.
Probably. And how do we feel about the mask? Because I'm kind of off and on about this mask.
I've always thought that the fact that there's a mouth on the mask looks goofy and distracting.
But that's kind of what I like about it. The fact that it's like it has more personality to it, which kind of elevates it.
I just like it. And I'm liking that we're actually getting some green in this movie.
Well, here's the thing. For this version of Reptile, I think it works. But if it were in the games, it would bug me. Because I like the way they're doing it now, where Reptile's mask is just like these plates on his face and his actual mouth sticks out and he can use it in fighting.
See, that's kind of like the mask
who half his offense is spitting and sticking his tongue out and stuff. Why would he wear the mask? It just gets in the way. He has to take it off every time.
But I think there's a charisma to taking it off. Maybe it's because I'm so attached to the human disguise. The idea of, okay, I'm taking my face off. Now this is what's really happening. I guess I missed that element. But
Yeah,
it's the same thing. I'm
mostly
off and on the
thinking of it
MKX
from
Max too.
I'm mostly thinking from a perspective of he hasn't had the human disguise in a long time.
That's Scream. This was sick. This was so sick. When I saw this in theaters as a kid, I fucking...
It's like you're waiting this whole movie for the special moves, and there's so few of them.
Guys still there?
Yep.
Hey, Shadowloo's back.
Yo.
What's up?
All right. What did you guys do once I dropped off?
Continues going.
Keep watching.
Are you done now?
No, we're not.
No, we're
okay.
he's killing Reptile.
Yeah,
He's killing Reptile?
He's squishing Reptile with his boot right now.
I had a power failure, so...
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, that happened to me on the Warrior Shrine. I don't know how Django edited that out.
It's killing Reptile. What are you watching right now specifically? Where
All
is
right,
it? Where is it killing?
Some lady's running into the background or something.
I've
There's
got
there's a
25
giant
minutes
face on the
and 9
ground,
seconds left.
Lou and Katana are walking and talking.
Yeah, all three of them are walking.
I like how
Rep-
Johnny just stayed completely out of that fight with Reptile. Like, you can have it.
Yeah.
I'll just be over here.
So he's already dead now.
Yes.
Reptile's now
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah, he just died.
God fucking damn it. Well, I should probably just break in and say that Techno Syndrome. Nah, not Techno Syndrome. That their song there that plays, that entire techno song, I was obsessed with that thing for the longest
It's a good
time.
one. It's definitely one of the best on here. I remember having the CD, and that was a favorite.
Does it have a name? Because most places on, like, YouTube, or if you try to download
You just
it,
call
it's
it Reptile.
It's just called Reptile Theme or something like that.
No,
yeah.
it's got, hang on, it's on my hard drive here. Music. Compilations.
Now, how does Katana know this about
We're
the
scrolling up the tower
tests?
now, by the way.
Because when Shang does them,
Okay,
it's
so-
spontaneous.
Scrolling up the tower.
Yeah, the giant-ass tower.
Then I'm right with you as...
Yep. And now they just zoomed in on Sonya chained up.
We got that Lita Ford hair.
It's very 80s.
Okay.
How did Shang get her into that dress?
I'm gonna assume that, I don't know, it was at knife point or something.
I must change you. You just don't ask questions. I gotta change you.
Maybe that's her natural hair, and she didn't have time to condition it. It just turns into that.
It's just poofed.
Yeah, she
Alright,
couldn't straighten that shit.
That song was called Control by Tracy Lawrence.
Yeah, it sounds familiar now.
Also the name of a porn star. I don't know if they're one and the same.
I was about to say that. I'm like, man, that sounds familiar.
Man, they threw the Mortal Kombat logo in just about everywhere they could. It's like right there as they're all coming down.
It's
on the
keeping with
giant.
games.
It's giant on the ground,
Yeah,
of course.
like they do that in the games too, and it always seemed weird to me. But in retrospect, after Deception, once you realize, oh, this is the symbol of their religion, that's what an elder god looks like. It's like going into a church and complaining there are too many crosses.
Doesn't everybody do that?
It's a great logo, though. They should whore out that logo.
It's a good logo.
It is a really strong design.
I've become used to the slightly angrier MKX logo, though.
I still think it looks like he got his skull dented with a baseball. The MKX one, just that sloping brow.
Hey, his eyebrows don't look so angry right now. He's just kind of happy.
Yeah, but hers look just as angry as ever.
She is
I
chained up.
really hope that like this entire place is well swept because she ain't wearing shoes. I wouldn't walk around in this shit barefoot.
She's probably worried. That's probably what she's most worried about now, is getting like a tetanus.
I kind of feel like Outworld would just be gross and humid all the time, temperature-wise, like it never gets cold.
That dress looks really uncomfortable, like around like the shoulders and chafing.
So yeah, we're got Katana talking to Shang now.
Yeah.
She's got like a
I'm with
Latin
you.
sass going on.
I love that. Stay where you are. They're like, okay, we should be good people. Very afraid of this person.
No, Johnny's rocking out that monk costume.
Yeah.
Like, he thinks looks badass.
clearly missed his calling as a friar.
Friar Cage.
Kane cannot wait to take that robot. He was waiting.
He's just like, this is way too much clothes for me.
I am so tired
to
of this shirt
stripping.
business. It is time.
You have no idea how long I've stripped. I mean, practiced for this fight.
Impudent.
They really got to get Tagawa to voice the character in the games, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully they picked that jacket up as they left. It's a nice jacket.
Like I've talked about before, I don't always like Tagawa's voice for Shang because sometimes I feel like he should be more like snaky, like not high pitched like Starscream, but something along those lines. Like I think of Bruce Locke in Conquest. But
Yeah, the way he talks now is almost like a mafia kind of voice.
But, you know, watching it again, you can't deny there's something really just strong and iconic about the way Tagawa talks.
Yeah.
Because it's a deeper voice than we often associate with Shang Tsung, and there's a lot of authority
Well,
behind that.
It's a deeper
he
voice
gets
that
through a
we
lot
never
of power.
really, in general, associate with, you know, like a Fu Manchu mustached Asian bad guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's
His snaky voice in the games I've never cared too much for. I much prefer Tagawa's.
Well,
love
there's potential with the snaky voice to play it too cartoony. That's a danger.
Which is, in the beginning of MK9, is exactly what they do.
Yeah.
His ears add a lot to it, you know? He's like those kind of like slightly upward angled, demonic, pointy, almost pointy.
Like how we're just analyzing
does.
everything about his body.
He's
got that jacket, those eyebrows, those ears,
The
his
casting
voice.
guys knocked it out of
my
the park.
gosh. If we could just get some facial hair on how he looks so
I
damn
love
good.
that the gray demon special effect that like flies into these manholes.
If you look closely to Shang Tsung's lip, you can see the only blood in the movie.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's why he's so pissed off. This is uncalled for. No one bleeds in these
No one
days.
makes me bleed my own blood.
That guy's great.
He's so fucking into it.
He's hyped.
Ah!
He just did a fucking like 8 ounces of coke.
I don't even care if I hit
I used to
anyone with
wonder
this
as a
thing.
kid whether that was supposed to be the ghost of Art Lean. Like,
A
and maybe
corrupted
that's
version, you
racist,
mean?
like all black guys look the same or something, but I just... Because I always wondered, if you're going to have guys get their souls sucked out during the movie, and then you've got the scene where Shang uses warrior souls to fight, like, why wouldn't you show at least one of the guys he killed earlier in the movie? That would be like a cool little return cameo, like a callback.
You'd think.
I really just, it's, you know, it's obvious, but I mean, it bears saying, I love the fact that, like, one guy is plainly a Mongolian warrior, one guy is, like, out of feudal Japan, a samurai.
Yeah,
just to show
do
you that
like,
Shang's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, I do like that aspect of it.
And maybe he chose more like actual decent warriors from the past, even though
'cause
they
Art
got
kinda sucks.
even though they all got disposed with like 2 kicks.
And that didn't last too long.
No.
Also, how is that... Like, according to Katana, the test was face your enemy, but he only fought 6 out of 1,000 souls.
Well, it's compressed, you know? Each one is like, you know, a good 200.
And he passes face yourself by walking the stairs.
Let's not be,
That makes sense, actually.
I
Leave
guess
us not,
you've
let's not
come
be
this
too
far now,
harsh.
brave enough to resume the fight.
I mean, 1 on 6, that's still worse than any endurance round in the original game.
I like how this is even remotely like difficult for him to face.
Yeah,
like
you
you know it's him.
honestly,
You know it's
it
him.
It can't be you.
You just
Was
saw
it?
him change.
Are you actually my brother? Was Shang Tsung always my brother? Always
It would have been more
killed.
effective to turn into the director, honestly.
Always killed. Dun, 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 dun,
It'd be funny if the movie ends with them just going home. Shang is now Chan.
Yeah, he just has to keep up the ruse forever.
It could be a sitcom.
That first fight scene was all in his mind.
It's like Mrs. Doubtfire. He's continually in awkward situations where he's, oh, I'm not ready, I'm not ready.
Does that sound like spikes to you? Don't pay any attention to that.
No, seriously, what is that scraping metal? It's nothing. Let's go home, brother.
Stop confusing me! Stop confusing me, damn you! This is hard for me!
Oh, he's got
Kill
such a
my
creepy
brother!
face when he changes back.
Yes!
You know, Shang Tsung won. They're going to have to repave that whole dragon logo completely.
Yeah.
So he just summoned
Or
spikes
were
out
the
of anywhere,
spikes
I
ever
guess.
really there at all?
I do love this like little face slam right into the pavement. It looks painful.
Yeah, this fight has a lot of character to it.
It's a
Good
great
ring
sound effect.
psychology.
Oh, fucked with his hair. He shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Oh god,
That
straight
was
up
over the line.
MK3 Kang now.
He didn't get mad when you imitated his brother. He got mad when you grabbed him by the hair.
Exactly.
Right before this, since this is the turning point, he should have ripped his pants off. Now I'm really mean business.
He should have said it as he said the line, "I am the chosen one." Whoosh, off go the pants.
Harder, better, faster, stripper.
And this was a misstep here. I wish the fight went on a little longer so the souls come out of him as he's getting beaten up.
Yeah,
instead
that
of
would've been cool.
his body
like,
as he gets a
like
little
in the
nervous.
Shaolin Monks intro at the very end,
It
where
should have been,
every
yeah,
time
like
it
one for
works.
every. One for every shot should have been.
Yeah.
It would have worked better, I think.
Burn.
Save your pity for the weak. I love how, like, another bit of praise for his acting here. His face gets gradually more and more contorted and angrier as
Yeah.
the further he goes down.
It's amazing, actually, because it's like he ages as he gets angry almost. It's really impressive.
Yeah. And
Except
the
for
dialogue
this-
in this scene is really strong too. Like,
Does his very best impression of a plane running toward him.
I like how
Yeah.
I like how he
This
just
is where the soul should have
Naruto
come out.
run
in my
with his
opinion.
arms
Yeah.
behind him.
right. Yeah, he just runs forward.
Weaker.
That should have been a soul. That should have been a soul. These all should have been souls coming out of him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Ultra jacked up face here.
Jesus.
She's like 75 years old in that shot.
Hadouken!
Just
As a
one
little
spud.
kid desperate for a special move, that almost fireball was really satisfactory.
No, it still is. Honestly, it still is.
I was semi-hard.
And again, misuse of the phrase flawless victory. You got hit in the face several times, Lou.
Maybe he was just doing that as an insult. He's just like
Yeah, but he could have said fatality then.
he clearly doesn't know what a flawless victory is. So this time I get a flawless
Liu
victory.
Kang would be the worst grandmaster.
My mom really likes this scene. She teared up. Don't blame her. I don't blame her at all.
Yeah, it's
Well, it's
a happy
emotional.
scene.
It
That's
worked.
what And Juno Reactor with Halcyon and On. Another wonderful, wonderful track. Oh, the souls are so happy. Happy.
Got that new age music going.
It'd be funny if he attacks Chan right now. He's just like, stop it, Shang Tsung. I know
I've already been through
I
this
pity
one.
you, sorcerer.
you fooled me once. He's
Takes a
just
swing
beating
at him,
him.
flies right through, falls over the edge into the spikes.
You know, you're not supposed to be able to touch a ghost. I'm just saying. I don't think the science in this movie is very accurate.
Needs tweaking.
What the hell is that guy? He's just wee.
There's the Mongolian dude. Did you even see Art Lean back there at all? I didn't see Art Lean back there.
Art went to hell, dude.
Aw.
He was secretly into the coke and whores.
Now the people are coming out of their caves. It's safe now. There's light for the first time in many years. And are you guys walking on Shang Tsung's corpse? Dude, she's not wearing shoes. What the hell? It's gross.
Yeah, where did Shang's corpse go?
It's just gone.
Yay! They freed the blue and all the blue and the orange.
Liu Kang just
America.
punches like all those kids. I pity you, sorcerer. Psh, I pity you, sorcerer. Psh. Everyone's Shang Tsung now.
Shang Tsung killed my brother! Shang Tsung killed my brother! My brother killed Shang Tsung! My brother is these children! And they lived happily ever after. God, if only. It's all downhill from here, folks.
Yep. I gotta say, on the scale of movies that end in a cliffhanger, like, this one, actually not bad.
Well, it's grounded because we know who this is. It's not out of the random.
It's not like in Super Mario Brothers, the movie, where Peach just runs in with a gun and is all like, "You guys gotta come back. There's more."
It's not even
You'll
Peach,
never
it's
believe what happened to
Daisy.
me today.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sitting at home watching that on TV, going, "Wait, what? The frog guy from Mario 2?"
What?
Oh man, but Shao Kahn looked awful. I still think he looked awful in that scene.
Yeah, that wasn't very. I mean,
It was
It's not even a
very
mask. It's like his
odd
face
a
is burnt.
samurai with a skull.
Like Freddy Krueger.
What is wrong with Netflix? Looking for something else to watch? We think you'll enjoy these titles. Happy Tree Friends. Red versus Blue. Forward on to... No! Well, Red versus Blue is
I've got
okay.
an ad for Wet Hot American Summer.
I've got credits.
If you
How
like
many watch
Mortal
these
Kombat,
credits?
you'll like.
There are some combat codes in these credits. I'm trying to remember what the hell it was for. I'm gonna pause once I get there.
Yeah. I bet it was like no blocking. Rand per combat.
And Christopher Lambert, top billing.
You know, for the record, it's actually pronounced Lambert. He's French, but
Years of abuse have rendered the point moot.
after we've said it wrong the entire time.
George Clinton did the music.
Although you never know. If we can recover from saying Ryu, anything's possible.
We're
And
making
George
headway.
Clinton, George Clinton, good soundtrack. First score I ever bought. He also, actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but Clinton himself, because there was absolutely no demand for it, and I guess he wanted some acknowledgement for his work, he put out the Mortal Kombat Annihilation score as a bunch of free MP3 files. It's floating around out there. You can pick it up. Nothing wrong with it. It's just guilty by association.
I like the music in Annihilation. I actually the first soundtrack I ever owned was the Annihilation.
Had them both.
Like
For me-
after I got that, I went back and got the ones from the first movie.
I was actually a little bit
This
disappointed.
and the more
that,
combat set tape.
like the MK Annihilation soundtrack was a little bit more techno, dance, EBM oriented, but I still picked it up because there were some familiar names from the first soundtrack on there, like KMFDM.
Yeah,
I think that might be the only one.
it had Megadeth on there.
It was a remix. I didn't hear the original till years later. I prefer the remix.
I think most of the songs on that are remixes.
Pretty well, actually. Actually, no. Ram Science is just the album version. Oh, there's a question mark. Question mark. Gonna take that down. Very important.
You could probably just Google it.
No. It's more fun this way. I'll just fast forward through this now.
Want to give a special thanks to the on-set dresser, Mary Beth Noble. Good stuff.
All right.
Construction gang bosses. Construction gang bosses? Constructicons? What?
Want to give it even special shout-outs to key hairstylist Michael Ross. He did some good shit in this movie.
Oh, there's a Shokan. There's a Shokan.
That's a weird looking-
Shao look great.
That Shokan looks like Michael Cera with 4 arms.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable.
Bill Dance Casting. Thank you for those extras. Special vocal effects by Frank fucking Welker, of course.
Welker did
sound
come
famous
to voice
everyone.
that last scene. That was obviously Welker
Yep.
doing Khan. Just straight up Dr. Claw.
Number 4. That's our next one. Number 4. Frank Welker voiced me. I was born. He did the crying sound effects. Frank Welker voiced everything. Welker is voicing this entire podcast. We are all Frank Welker.
Yeah. Welker voices my cats in real life.
Rod Schumacher. Peter Undercoughlin. It's been 20 years. I don't know how many of these people are dead. Probably a few.
All right.
There's definitely one.
That is true. Can you
I'm
name?
sorry. My mind goes to dark places. Joseph Thomas, he's probably dead. John Franco III, probably dead by now. There's probably 5 of them. At least by this
Well, I
point.
can give you. I can
Bill
give you.
Coffin is dead. I'm just going to take a.
There's
a leap
also
there.
Terry
Terry
Coffin as well. I was gonna
Oh,
say.
damn.
I was gonna say Trevor Goddard is an obvious, but
Too soon, man.
Don Fergus. Fergus died via frugality. Was that it? Did we only get like 3 combat code entries? I guess that makes sense since most of them
There's
are just
supposed to be 5 in there, because usually in the advertisements they'd always leave just 1 digit out.
Yeah. Rocket the dog? Are you seeing this?
Now I'm trying. What scene had a dog in it?
Gillis Woodruff Creature Effects crew. Goro. Is
Played by
Goro.
Goro.
That's awesome.
Goro, played by Goro. Oh, I'm glad, I mean, it could be worse. Ernie Hudson auditioned for Winston in the Ghostbusters cartoon, lost that role to Arsenio Hall. He didn't get to play
That's
the
I did not
cartoon
know
version of
that. That
himself.
is,
Oh,
that is
question mark.
bullshit.
William Friesch. God, it sucks to be Ernie Hudson. It really does. I hope he at least cameo in the new Ghostbusters film.
I probably won't. Ernie always gets shat on. Which is a shame, because he's the most, well, him and Aykroyd are the two who, clearly have the most love for the franchise. And,
And I feel
talk
like
to
Ernie
fans.
Hudson has most staying power. Like, he's the one who
Another
stayed more
4?
movie relevant, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's also in the best shape.
Oh, by far. And he aged beautifully.
Yeah. Although, I mean, I don't care if they get cameos or not, because the new one's not even in continuity with, like Aykroyd's playing a taxi cab driver. I don't know what Bill Murray's doing, but it's not Peter Venkman, because there is no Peter Venkman in that.
Didn't Murray say he was doing a cameo? Or was that just
Yeah, I
Aykroyd?
think he's probably, playing a bit part. He's not...
Robin shouted his own fight choreographer, or art choreography. I didn't know that.
The new the all-girl Ghostbusters movie is a reboot. Because that was necessary. It's not like having franchises was built into the concept or anything.
Set dresser, Robert Smith. Fucking awesome.
Did he summon Big O?
It's a lot of
That's Roger
carpenters.
Smith. Roger.
Ton of carpenters.
Well,
Still waiting for that last digit. We got 5 so far. Honey Wagon Driver. What's
is that a
honey-
name or a company?
This is an occupation.
It's a title.
Oh, the driver of the honey wagon. Okay.
Indeed, yes.
This should be a combat zone. Honey Wagon.
Key grip, best boy, honey wagon driver.
And credits by Cinema Research Corporation. Credits for your credits. Sup, dog?
We heard you like credits.
Oh, very meta. Video wall footage courtesy of Wish You Were Here. Pink Floyd?
We're just two lost souls living in a fishbowl, year after year.
Bunch of Stabbing Westward songs, not on the soundtrack. Fear Factory.
Did they ever play Zero Signal in the movie? I know it's on the soundtrack. I can never remember a scene with Zero Signal.
It's the Scorpion and Cage fight when they're.
Oh, I never picked up on that.
Yep.
Huh.
I like how in Annihilation they don't
Dragon.
even turning the song into an instrumental version for the fight scenes. Like in the Lou versus Smoke fight, that guy is just yelling fire in the background.
But Scooter, he needs to do nothing else. At least you got the full version on the actual soundtrack, though.
Yeah.
Danny Westerberg, that guy's actually dead.
What the hell?
Oh,
I
man.
know that.
Rest in peace, Danny.
All right, well, that's the movie. We did it.
Yes. All right.
We should do this with Street Fighter.
I'm done.
That could be fun.
We could definitely do something like that again, and we'll definitely do Annihilation at some point. But yes, that'll do it.
Yeah, but eventually we do need to do a real show where we cover some news, because there has been some talks about the next season of the web series.
Absolutely not, and we're going to end this episode. And
say that.
Hang on. Let me at least fucking Google this and see what the hell that combat code was.
see ya, folks.
Aw.
Just kidding.
Okay, so
Put it in the YouTube comments.
we had a question mark, a Shokan, a 4, a question mark, a 4, and a dragon. Which makes 4, 6, 4. What's a question mark? Nope. No. 4, 6.
what
What the hell? No, that shit doesn't even fucking correspond. There's
No.
number 4 up there.
No, I think you got one of them wrong. I don't remember there being 2 number 4s. I thought it was Shokans. What did you say they were?
I just sworn. I took down question mark Shokan 4, question mark 4 dragon.
I thought it was question mark Shokan, and I even remember you saying 4 when it was a Shokan. So I think that it was say whatever you said again, but that second 4 you said was supposed to be a
First was a
Shokan.
question mark. What starts with 4, 6? 4, 6. 4, 6. 2 of 13 matches. 4, 6, 6, 4, 6, 6. Run gauge never depletes. That ain't it. 4, 6, 0, 4, 6, 0. Players randomly morph. That ain't it either. Oh god, 13 matches. 6, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. Ah, this is wearing out its welcome. Unlimited run. Galaga. Super meter becomes infinite. Oh, to hell with this. You know what? It was probably all muddled up and mixed up, and we have to actually put them all together properly. Oh well.
Which is super purpose defeating, but it's like, why give us this code if it's just random bullshit? I don't get that. Oh well.
All right. Well.
Looks like that's it for the evening.
Yep, that'll be it for this episode. So you guys have a good one.
Later.
Toodaloo.